I think we're back. I think we're live.
Yeah, I'm on you. No.
It'll take a few seconds to probably start here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties. Stand by. That's just par for the course when it comes to the Infinity Bros Twitch stream. So
Infinity Bros
Podcast.
Hey, we're back. There we go.
And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. We lost Robbie. Zane popped up briefly in his background, standing over him like this. And then next thing we knew, Robbie was gone. Oh, there he is. He's back. Is it the real Robbie, though?
Mark was just saying Haktua was one of his...
hold on.
The stream's going down again.
Relax. What are you doing? Can you imagine he did say that it happened again?
That would be wild. Drops again. Oh my gosh. Okay, continue, Mark. Sorry about that.
Okay, so where was I? So I'm on number 3.
Don't say it again.
Don't say it.
I'm tempted now. I'm going to screw up.
Don't say it.
My number 3 is the Velma show.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Yeah, that.
So, I struggled
that was
to get
this
through
year.
Season 1. I struggled to get through season 1 last year. And then there was a season 2. I'm like, they made a second season?
They made a second season of that?
Funny.
Okay, that's why I'm confused, because season 1 was last year, right? Or was season 2 this year? I watched 1.5 episodes of that show, and it was complete garbage. So I did not continue. That was
Dude, well, it was.
Mark, God bless you for
Jinkies,
even attempting to watch all that, man. Good for you.
Honestly.
That's another show where I'm like, how did this get approved? And how are people are going to love this? People are going to connect.
Who's asking for that?
You're
Exactly.
You're using a known content and IP, and you kind of bastardized it. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So, it was wild stuff.
I was late
my
on
number 2.
I was late on the swear word. Quack.
Well, I used the word in the proper context, so technically it wouldn't be a swear word.
I just wanted to use the quack.
Wild. My Umbrella Academy season 4.
Oh yes.
Did you actually watched it?
Watched it. That's why I didn't watch it.
Wow, you are a trooper.
Yeah, Mark wanted to watch it, and then
you're a trooper.
Starting it.
Mark, I undersell how many bad things you watch. I owe you an apology.
Incredible. Good for you, Mark.
He's committed. He does the most.
Do the dirty work, man.
I speak for those who can't speak for themselves.
Those who don't want to speak, yeah.
And then my number 1, which is funny, the movie came out in 24, and I watched it in 25. Madam Web. Just a complete dumpster fire of a movie. Another movie, I'm like, how does this...
I still refuse to watch it.
Edit it, and they're like, this will make us money, right? Yeah, it'll be fine. Or someone's just like, hey, put it out so then we can keep the IP.
And that Madam Web has to be number 1 because, the thing about most superhero movies that come out, they're fine movies. They're edited fine. Everything's fine about them. Madam Web is bad production. That's where it gets me. It's so bad. The villain is a voiceover for the whole movie, even when he's actually talking on screen. It's what?
So funny.
What are you doing? It's so bad. I don't understand how it got through the final editing phases.
Now I want to hate watch it. You guys have talked me into hate watching it now.
It's worth hate watching. It's bad. It's bad. But it's not one of those enjoyable bad movies. That's why it's it's hard.
It's not The Room, is what you're saying.
They didn't exploit the people they casted. They played it straight. It's just you would have had way more people going if they did certain things. But anyways, I digress.
Do you think it was just we'll get some really pretty girls and put them in tight things and not even exploit them, but just
right? And I'm just saying there's an audience for that would have been hard going to that movie for those reasons.
Sure.
And they didn't do that. It just seems wild. I think Sony's only making movies these movies.
It would have been what going to that movie?
To keep their IP, so then they don't lose it to Marvel. That's what
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
It's dumb. All right, so we don't dwell on this too long. Zane, go ahead through your list.
It's just
gonna make me
all 6 is Madam Web.
Madam Web. 1, 2.
Madam Web.
He goes through each
that are in the movie.
No, my number 6. Not that it's really something you can control, but it was sad. The passing away of Akira Toriyama. just because so much of the childhood
Yeah.
DBZ and stuff that was enough that I was like, that one.
That'll do it. Yeah, that sucks.
Number 5, I don't know why this one stuck out to me. I think it's just because it was so cringe. Do you remember the thing that took the internet by storm? That Willy Wonka chocolate experience that they had.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Good
about that.
answer.
That was this
Good
year,
answer.
and I just you look at those pictures, and I'm just like,
No,
what
that's
was
insane.
someone
Dude,
thinking
the
about?
lore behind that is just great. I just
right,
love it.
like that needs to get a documentary because
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it should.
My number 4 was the game Concord.
Oh my
Just,
gosh!
what an absolute nightmare. I don't think I've ever seen a game just shut down that fast.
This podcast has lasted longer just tonight than the entire game of Concord.
Yes.
Literally.
Literally.
Shorter than that.
I maybe like a month. I think I don't remember the total date,
I don't even
but
think it was a month. I think it was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think you're right, actually. I think it was under a month.
Yeah, it was real
And
bad.
they spent millions of dollars on that game. Wild. All right. Number 3 is Madam Web.
Number
That's
three.
probably that's
Oh.
you just have to hate watch
Then you
it.
Sweeney's.
Like it's literally you just have to watch it because of
I
how
might
bad
go
it
hate
is.
watch it right after this. That might be
Just
what I
throw
do
it on.
tonight.
Same.
Just throw it on.
Telling you what, this might be a
Um,
fantasy football punishment at this point. You guys are
right.
out, man.
Watch Madam Web
You
for
have to
24
watch it
hours
in
straight.
hotels.
All day long. Oh my god.
No
Oh.
phone watching Madam Web.
In the Clown Motel. Number 2 for me is the Acolyte. I think part of it too was just the press and everything outside of the actual show itself. Like they thought it was going to be such a grand thing. It just wasn't. Just so much of it was just so disappointing. And you're like, this could have been really good.
There
And they
was
acted
good
like it was.
pieces, but it just
There was
wasn't
good
enough.
pieces. It wasn't enough. It was just so
It
disappointing.
was Star Wars's Secret Invasion. Like it was
Yeah.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
If you disassociate everything, like the MCU, the comics, the show itself is not horrible. Like it's not great, but it's still like. But if you add in everything, all the context, just huge disappointment. Absolute disappointment.
Right.
And with
And
Halo,
then-
it's just like they ended it, and it's like I wanted a sequel because
Well, you
of
had
what
to
we saw.
answer
Because of
those
how they ended
questions
it,
that they
yeah,
raised. Like
right.
you
Right.
needed a season 2 to make that season 1.
Sorry, how does
better.
that get a season 2 and Velma doesn't even get a season 2? Or Velma got a season 2 and
Yeah,
that doesn't. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Stupid.
All right, but my number 1 worst, most disappointing, upsetting, dumb thing of 2024 was me almost dying.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing to have on the list.
Yeah.
I
Hold on,
figured
I'm
that's
changing my number 1.
I think that's a good thing to be at number 1. Yeah.
Love that.
You didn't die. Agatha all along is worse.
Yeah, whatever.
There
You're
was-
right now.
There was a brief moment where I was tempted to put that at number 2 and Acolyte at number 1, but I was like, oh,
That's so
I-
funny.
Zane, I went. Zane, I went down there and I saw you. Agatha all along was worse.
Touche.
All right, Jarrett. Let's
Well,
hear
we're
about
glad that you're
Kane's.
alive, Zane. Thank you.
Thank
Some of
you.
us are.
We are.
Whoa, Zane, I'm happy you're alive too. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on the record. And yeah, good on you, buddy.
Did Mark say we or did he say he? I thought he said we.
Oh, I said me.
Oh,
Yeah.
just
I
personally.
personally, hey Zane, look in the camera with me.
I don't want to speak for Max, Robbie. Or
I'm
Isaac.
glad you're alive.
Thank you, Jared.
I'm kind of 50-50
We
about it.
are all glad you're alive. Zane.
He's married
Except for
somebody
Robbie.
else, so
Robbie's
Robbie's
50-50
Robbie's
on
upset. My number 6 is Gladiator 2. Not because it was a bad movie necessarily, but because it should have been so much better. Like it is a disappointingly beat for beat remake of the first movie, and I had such high hopes for this. And again, it's not a bad movie. It's just the fact that it could have been. It flew too close to the sun. It could have been great. Number 5 is Acolyte. We don't need to rehash it for all the reasons that everybody said. Star Wars has been full of ups and downs, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm more disappointed in this than Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett's more just because we love Boba Fett as a character. But yeah, it was not great. Number 4 is Concord. I actually thought this game looked good. I don't know what their deal was for canning it so fast, but I was like, I don't hate it. Like, it didn't look worth shutting down over. Number 3 was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I watched this fight.
Oh,
Good point.
It was so awful, dude. It was so hard to watch, and like the fact that Jake Paul walked away from that with like the biggest like ego, and I'm like, dude, you fought an old man.
Dude,
like,
did you see?
anybody who watched that fight? He was
on a
tired.
recent stream,
lucky that you
Jake
were
Paul
able to
talked
watch
about
it.
him having Mike Tyson having Parkinson's. Like I don't know if that's like recently after the fight, but Jake Paul just talked about it on a Twitch stream or something recently that he's like been diagnosed with Parkinson's. Like,
Yeah,
I think
good
Jake
for
Paul
you,
just kind
dude.
of says things.
He probably does.
yeah.
Like you beat
Dude,
a
like-
6-year-old guy with Parkinson's. Like great. Good for
Well,
you,
it
man.
was-
Way to go.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not about to step to Mike Tyson. I don't want to punch to the face from him, but also like Jake Paul,
dance
you should
around a little
not be
bit.
proud of that. Yeah, for real.
We'll get the fight
Number
tomorrow.
2, and this is something that I recently found out, and I dug deep into this. This was like, I put on my Mark hat, and I went all over the internet to find out what's going on with this. Shameik Moore, who cannot keep his mouth
Oh my
shut.
goodness.
Yeah, I saw the
And
stuff
his-
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and is absolutely crashing the plane for the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
movie.
what is that guy
Is
doing?
insane. He is like, yeah, he's the internet weirdo that we think a lot of other people are. Like, I don't know what his deal is, but he's got to get his stuff together.
We love you, but we love you because you voice somebody.
Yeah, your
Like,
voice acting is great.
Yeah,
Keep it
you're
to
not
that,
you're
bud.
not a megastar. You're a voice actor.
Oh my
We love you,
gosh.
but that's all you are.
Number 1, I am a big Neil Gaiman fan. Obviously not anymore, but I was a
Oh,
big
yeah.
Neil Gaiman fan.
Yeah, he had a
And,
hard fall, dude.
Yeah.
All
Did
the
that
stuff
happen right
that's
at the
coming
end of
out
the
with
year?
him. Huh?
Did that happen right at the end of the year, right? Or was
Yeah,
that,
it was
middle of
like
the
it
year?
was like mid-December where all his stuff
Okay,
came
okay.
out. And dude, it is horrifying to see some of the stuff that's come to light, and like sexual trafficking charges and stuff. I'm like, well,
Interesting that a lot of
that
celebrities have been
sucks.
charged with that in the last few years. Very
I
interesting.
mean, I'm glad they are, but yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh my gosh, I had to like, I have a bunch of Sandman comic books that I was like,
Yeah.
these are going in the trash right now.
Oh no, hold on. You should try to sell them. There might be a buyer.
No, I threw them away. I wasn't having it. Yeah. A lot of bad things happened this year. I'm gonna keep it to those 6.
Appreciate that. All right, Robbie, cap us off with your Bob Kane's for 2024.
My Bob Kane's for 2024. Number 6 is Zayn getting engaged to somebody that's not me. That's my number 6.
Love that.
Understandable.
Kind of
Understandable.
selfish of him. Can't believe he never proposed after all these years. But whatever, he found some lady. That's my number 6. Thank you. My number 5 is Gladiator 2 for all the same reasons Jarrett was saying. Jarrett and I actually watched this at my house. I bought the effing movie to watch it, and I was like, okay, this can't be like just a Gladiator 1 rehash. We're like, we'll just ignore that this is a sequel. It'll be its own standalone thing. Well, you can't, because it's literally the entire movie kicks you in the face with how good the first movie was. So, yeah, Gladiator 2, big disappointment for me, just because it should have been so much better if you're actually going to go back to Gladiator. My number 4, Megamind came back and had a movie this year. I don't know if you guys knew this. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate.
It was bad.
Absolute garbage. Animation garbage. Everything about it was terrible. And it was a real big disappointment. I know we here on the podcast are big Megamind fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate was hot garbage and could not
Zane
recommend it.
Zane has a Megamind tattoo in places we
Yeah.
can't show on stream.
Yeah, we can't talk about that on stream. Yeah. Check the Patreon. Number 3 is Rebel Moon and everything to do with Zack Snyder. That's it. That's number 3.
just Zack Snyder.
Just everything that Zack Snyder's ever done. That's it. Number 2 is Moana 2. I was very,
Really?
very disappointed in this movie. It's fine, I guess. It's just not nearly as good as it could have been. Like, there's no catchy song. Like, it's probably one of the most forgettable sequels they've made in a very long time, and they've done really well with sequels. recently.
Yeah, Robbie, you're spot on. Spot on with your assessment. Spot on.
It should have been so good, and it was like a cash grab for Disney, who doesn't need to do cash grabs. So, yeah, not a big fan of Moana
And
2.
they're like setting up a third one now.
Yeah, they're setting up a third one. It's like, do we need a third one? I don't know. After that. And then my number 1 is Joker 2. Speaking of things we didn't need, Joker 2 was awful, especially after how good Joker the first one was. I was like, oh, I'll be optimistic if we're gonna do a second one. But then it got announced that it's a musical, and then you're really like, stressed about it, and it comes out and it's awful, and it's just absolute garbage. And forcing myself to watch that was painful. So yeah, Joker 2 is my number 1 Bob Kane. Yeah, real bad.
Yeah, that was rough.
There you go. That's the list.
Right. We don't tally up these or the Infinity Gems, but Acolyte was on a lot of our lists, so it might be that one.
Joker 2 and Acolyte were on a lot of the lists.
I mean, like
Madam Web.
Madam
Web.
Zane
Yeah.
dying is probably a good one to have on there. I mean, like if Zane died, would we be having this podcast right now? Like I don't even know.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
You definitely
We
would.
were gonna
You wouldn't be
do
doing
the
top
podcast
six.
with him before he was even on here. What are you guys talking about? We were about to start.
Yeah,
but
Robbie's right. Robbie's
the flavor would be off because who would be on the PlayStation? I'm not going to do that.
Exactly.
True. Good point. Somebody has to do it. It's got to be Zane.
Well, Max can do it. He
Smart
can
Nick
figure out
would
how
do
to
it. You're
start it
right.
up.
What am I saying?
All right, there we go.
We
That
just convinced
is
one of the people we already know to be a part of it.
Just put him in a Zane wig.
In the podcast world. I mean.
Yeah.
All right, Zane Ellis, here he is. All right, that's our Bob Kane.
No one would know.
2024. Moving
Wear
on
this
to
skin suit we made.
Oh no,
The Enigma has 2 faces.
he's really the Enigma now. All right, Infinity Gems, guys. This is literally whatever you want to put in there. Good things,
Sick.
obviously, but movies, TV shows. We already had those lists. This could be video games, could be events, could be literally whatever else you want to put on there. So let's go opposite direction. Robbie, you want to go first?
It starts off sick. We're gonna start with 2 Henry Cavill related things. Henry Cavill in the Deadpool Wolverine movie for 5 seconds is
Spicy.
maybe the greatest 5 seconds of my life.
Great cameo.
And then Henry Cavill announcing he's working on the Warhammer show.
Yeah.
Which is going to be epic. Henry Cavill is the world's most lovable giant nerd. He literally left the Witcher series because they wouldn't stay true to the books or how the character should be written. And he was like, peace out, you guys suck. And now he's doing his own thing and doing Warhammer. And guy knows so much lore about Warhammer, and that's going to be really, really good, I imagine, as long as they just let him do his thing. So starting off with 2 from Henry Cavill. My number 4 is Marvel's first drop into Magic the Gathering as a secret layer this year. So we finally got some Marvel cards in Magic the Gathering. It's my one way to get all of you to play. And we have a Spider-Man set coming out this year, but that's not on the list. But we got Captain America, Black Panther, Storm, and Wolverine in a secret layer drop for Magic the Gathering. That was huge.
If I had an honorable mentions for Bob Kane, it would be how freaking hard it was to get that set. It was impossible.
That's a whole other story. My number 3 is not so much this movie itself, but just what it means for potential movies is Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim. Really, really enjoyed the movie. It wasn't amazing, but it opens the door for more things in that realm, like animated Lord of the Rings films, which I think I'm more on board with that rather than ever doing another live action thing. But I really enjoyed War of the Rohirrim. It's really fun. Good little watch. It did really, really bad at the box office, so we'll see if they make more like in like theater things, or if they just do like straight to your TVs. But we'll see. My number 2 is Roadhouse, the remake that they did with Jake Gyllenhaal. it was kind of a guilty pleasure, honestly. Like I really, really enjoyed watching Roadhouse. I don't know why. I just really, really liked that movie. It was a fun movie. So that's my number 2. And then my number 1, I imagine a lot of people's number 1 is going to be Marvel Rivals.
Yeah,
obviously we've all taken a lot of time into Marvel Rivals. That game came out of literally nowhere, at least to me. Had no idea that was even coming, and instantly is the only game that all of us play. So Marvel Rivals is my number 1 Infinity Gem of the 2024 year.
Nice. All right, Jarrett, hit us with your list.
My number 6 is Not Like Us, Euphoria, everything that came out of the Drake and Kendrick beef. If you're a Kendrick fan at all, this was a good year for you. And he just like it was constant. Like every single time that Drake would have like even a breath on Twitter, Kendrick would drop a new single, and they were all good, right? Like not a single one missed, in my opinion. In fact, listening to Meet the Grams, dude, he went hard for no reason. Like it was crazy how much he went into that. Number 5 is a comic book that I picked up this year. It's called The Devil That Wears My Face. It is a horror comic in the vein of like Exorcist or Face Off. If you love the classic movie Face Off, it's the story of an exorcist who accidentally during his exorcism swaps bodies with the demon, and so he as a priest is going around like doing these horrible things, but it's the demon in his body, and he's in the body of, I think, a serial killer. I read that book at the beginning of the year, so I can't remember exactly which, but it's so good. It's phenomenal. Number 4 is Space Marine 2. I'm a big fan of Warhammer, and I think this was a nice addition to the franchise. It's a game that Zane and I played a little bit of. Robbie dipped his toes into, and I'm still grinding away at it. I have a feeling that this is going to be something in the veins of No Man's Sky, where the release is good, but it didn't necessarily live up to the hype, because I think people were kind of low on Space Marine 2 after a week or two, but it's continued to put out content, and I think they're going to revamp quite a bit of stuff that's going to continue to make it better than it was. Number 3 is Helldivers 2. We all went hard for Helldivers 1, or at least most of us did, and Helldivers 2 was a great addition to the franchise. And they've continued to do a lot with that. There was a lull period there where things were not great. I think they're coming back in a big way. So I've been pivoting back and forth between that and Rivals. Speaking of Rivals, that is my number 2. Again, this was a game that came out of nowhere. I love these like hero shooter genre. I played a lot of Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2 was not that for me. But Rivals has been phenomenal. I think it's brought out my competitive side. I grind away. I got to high gold, and I was about to swap over into plat. And every time I like reach for the stars and get too close to the sun, I fall back down to silver. But someday I'm gonna make like a real run for competitive. And my number 1 is Shadow of the Erdtree, which was the DLC expansion for oh my gosh, my brain Elden Ring. Thank you.
Elden Ring?
Oh my gosh, my brain just gave out completely right there. I love Elden Ring. I love all the FromSoft games. And this expansion did so much for the game, story-wise and gameplay-wise. And I think it really set up the future for like what they want to do with these FromSoft games. Obviously, we got Night Rain announced, and that's kind of folded into this. But just the future of FromSoft is looking phenomenal for anyone who's a fan of their properties. So
good that you forgot its name. It's crazy.
Yeah, so good that I forgot its name.
That one game that I like to play a lot.
It's my favorite game ever.
It's my favorite game of all time. What is it called again?
Yeah, I can over Stranger Things in it.
All right, Zane, what is your Infinity Gems list?
All right, so for mine, at number 6 is Helldivers 2. A ton of fun there, and that took up a good chunk of the time. Just from what we had from the first one. That's my number 6. Number 5 for me is Black Myth Wukong.
Oh yeah.
An incredibly fun game. Combat is similar to what we had in Elden Ring, but it's all based on Chinese like lore and mythology. So it's been super fun. The fighting's really fun. So I really enjoyed that one. Number 4 for me is Space Marine 2. Because me and Jarrett dabbled a bit, but even just having some introduction kind of into that Warhammer universe, and like I'm dipping my toes in a little bit, and it's been fun. Number 3 for me is actually Rivals. That just came in late into the year, and it's just taking it by storm. It's just what all of us are playing. Super fun. Number 2 for me is actually College Football 25. Because I was
sick. Okay.
always huge college football, and like we finally got it back after 10 years.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
And just that's also what we've been playing a ton of outside Rivals. And then my number 1 Infinity Gem, obviously, is my gorgeous fiance Annika.
Now we have to take Mark's spot for mentioning her on the podcast.
Oh, Annika's good at knocking Mark down a peg, so we're keeping her up here.
Oh, wow, Zane, let's go.
Oh yeah,
I love that for you, buddy.
Yeah, some big things happening.
Oh,
in
good
Zane's
for
life.
you.
Doesn't die and then gets engaged.
Yeah, this guy doesn't die and then is getting married. It's crazy.
Good stuff. Probably gonna live like 40 minutes.
Was almost dying the best thing that could have happened?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Mark. What was your list? Your Infinity Gems.
My list. My number 6. Really not. Anyways, let's go into it. Caitlin Clark went to the WNBA. It made me more hyped for the WNBA.
Yeah, dude.
This year, and just seeing like and just all the drama that pursued out of it, and like people say, oh, it's not just Caitlin Clark. It's like literally all the eyeballs came for her, and there are really good athletes that came out of that draft, but in rookies wise, but all the money that's being pumped into that is because of Caitlin Clark. So just love seeing that.
Watched more women's basketball than men's basketball last year.
Same. I watched. Crazy. Yeah, exactly. Number 5. I've been getting in. This is another just random thing. I've been getting into online auctions, finding like sports cards and like
nice
Pokemon and Magic cards and comic books for like fairly cheap. So that's been a fun like kind of hunt. My number 4 would be Helldivers 2. Basically, that's the game that got me to buy a PS5. So,
and aren't you glad you did?
And then we all dropped it a week later.
No, we played it pretty religiously for about.
We played it for a while.
I came in right at the right time. I didn't like max a bit and come in late and then got mad, but I digress. My number 3 would be the release of Surging Sparks Pokemon. Got me.
Nice.
That type was kind of nice, so that was fun. It's still fun. Number 2 would be Rivals, and then my number 1 was the Twin Cities Con. Let's
fun
go.
Oh, nice, yeah,
nice.
That's my list.
Awesome. All right, my number 6 is we've been working with this company called GameSir, and they sent me some sweet controllers this year that I was very excited about and used quite a bit. Like I've never been a huge mobile gaming guy because I just can't sit and stare at that tiny screen for so long, and then using my like fingers for the touchscreen controls, I can't do it. But I got this legit controller from them that I finally am like, oh, okay, now mobile gaming's on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent
this
us.
This is the only reason this is one of theirs. This is the only reason I've been playing games on my PC because I am awful at mouse and keyboard.
Dude, yeah, and they sent me 2 legit ones. Like they sent me their Tarantula, which is like their high tier one, and then they sent me that Thanos one. And the Thanos one, like I haven't used that one quite as much because it's a Bluetooth one, so it's just a little like there's a teeny bit of a lag when you're using it with your Switch or phone or whatever. But still, like the fact that they sent us that as like a gift for working with them, that was just like so right up our alley, and it was so cool to be like recognized like that. So GameSir controllers, pretty legit. You can check out our TikToks for the reviews on them. But that was my number 6. Number 5 was Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 was the first like online game that I've gotten into for a really, really long time. Like I don't even remember what the last one was, honestly. It was so fun to get on that with the boys, and it just got that feeling back of like, all right, when are we getting on? When are we gonna play again? And I'm sad that it kind of went away. We played it consistently for a good month or two. I feel like a little sad that it went away, but replaced with something.
That's saying something for us.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
A good month or two is really saying something for us.
He's solid on the games that we're playing for more than 2
Well, I think
weeks.
I kind of got in on this, like, I think week 2 of that game, and that's why I wasn't as like big into it as all of you guys were.
It was
late to the party.
I mean, like, we played Helldivers 1. I feel like that was the launching point for a lot of us. Like, played a lot of Helldivers 1 and streamed it even on our Off-Topic Gamers. And throwback to that, but good times. But my number 4 is also College Football 25. Man, I just doing the connected franchise between a lot of us here has just been so much fun, and it's one thing that I look forward to doing like every week. So that's been also a blast. My number 2 was Marvel Rivals. I'm having more fun in this than probably any other online game I've ever played, and I'm not even joking about that. I've just never been a big multiplayer online guy, and I feel like I can actually be competitive in this game, and it's just fun. It's fun. So, and another game again that you can just be like, all right, guys, when are the boys getting together? Like, it brings me back to the days of like Fortnite, like, 2018 when they're like, oh, when are we dropping, boys? When are we dropping? It's just the good old days of gaming, and it's bringing me back when we have like 6+ guys in a PlayStation party, and we're like waiting for a spot to open up so we can get in on the competitive matches and stuff. It's a blast. It's really fun. My number 2 was also Twin Cities Con. Had a blast with Mark. It was really fun to check out all the stuff, hoping that this year we can have a table at Twin Cities Con and maybe a few other cons. But it was just a blast. Met a lot of different creators and podcasters and stuff. Really fun, and able to hang out with Mark and Joey there as well was fun. So, and then my number 1 is hitting 200 episodes on the Infame Bros podcast. The fact that we've been doing this for, it'll be 6 years this year, is wild. And I feel like, like I said before, year 6, it was 6 of us, 6 Infinity Stones. I feel maybe this is our year. Maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? So that's my Infinity Gems for 2024. Max, close this off. What were your Infinity Gems of 2024?
I went more pop culture with it than other people, so forgive me. But actually, except my number 1 is different. Number 6 was the Deadpool cameos. I think when Blade walked in, that was special, and Gambit, that was pretty wild. I'm chasing that feeling. From is my number 5. I'm just so thankful for this show, and not just that it's a great show, but that people that are smarter than me are watching it now and can tell me things that I would never have been able to figure out. Number 4 is the Superman trailer, and I'm so in on this movie. Like, I am so ready for this Superman movie. I just can't wait. I just think this trailer is great. Number 3 is San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel. I thought this was one of their best cons. I know that polarizing things that they're doing and things like that, but I'm a fan of the Robert Downey Jr. news. At the moment, I'm excited about it. So as of today, we'll see if that changes.
Flip it.
I think. What'd you say?
Flip it.
Yeah, well, there could be
Flip
a
it.
chance that I'm wrong, but as of today, I'm excited about that. Number 2 is the emergence of Rivals. You guys haven't quit playing it. I'm really excited about that. Thank you for not quitting to play it yet. Robbie understands this. Like, you got to test your heart when you step into things with our friend group, and hope that people don't abandon you. And so nobody's abandoned me yet. And then number 1 is Zane getting engaged after not dying. Is literally what I wrote. I literally wrote that hours ago, Zane. I just wanted to be known. I wrote that hours ago. He got engaged after not dying.
After not dying. What a comeback.
Yeah.
What a comeback.
Don't call
Zane
it a comeback.
Ellis is the number 1.
Don't call it a comeback.
is my number one
It's been here
Don't
for
call
years.
it comeback.
Infinity Gem. So there we go.
Oh gosh, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh man, that was some good stuff. Good memories brought up from 2024 with that category. Love it. All right, guys, if you have any ideas on what your Infinity Gems would be, make sure you throw that in chat. I'm going to go ahead and draw this giveaway. So if you have not yet, make sure you go to our Twitch stream, type in !ticket to get in on the drawing for an Infinity Bros merch item. You guys can go to the store, check it out, and then pick out whichever thing you want. I'm literally
Get your
sending
merch
one from one of our other giveaways from the 12 Days of Infinity Bros Christmas. Now finally got around to getting that all made up, and then Robbie is going to be going to Infinity Bros.
Didn't let me in.
Robbie is going to MagicCon in Chicago next weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Robbie, and what we can expect from you at that?
I will be at MagicCon Chicago. I'll be there Thursday through Sunday. So, lined up a few things. Hope to see a lot of people that I've met online. Had a lot of people reach out about potentially seeing me there and playing games or whatever. But going with a group of guys that I met through Magic and through social media and whatnot. Become pretty decent friends with them as well. So I'll be in MagicCon Chicago. I don't know how much content we'll get out of that. I've heard in the past it's hard to like do a bunch of content when you're there unless you like really want to go out and do it. And this is my first full con, so I might just kind of take the experience in and enjoy it instead of trying to make it work. So I'm really, really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Didn't get a creator badge, even though I am an ambassador for the set that the con is based on. So
that's
make that make sense.
Obnoxious. That's obnoxious.
makes very little sense.
Make that make sense. I can't make it make sense, but it is what it is. It's okay. I'm happy to pay and go and hang out and meet a bunch of people that I met through online. So all my online friends are going to become real life friends. At MagicCon Chicago, hopefully, starting Saturday. So yeah, hope to see anyone that's in chat there. Yeah.
I love that you not getting the creator pass didn't make your Bob Kane, but me getting engaged to someone else did.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
That's
Nice.
The big moment.
All right. We are going to close the giveaway right now. Giveaway closed.
I hope I win.
All right. And we're going to draw a winner. I think it automatically... Oh, it said you can no longer enter the giveaway. Okay, perfect. And we're going to draw the winner of the Infinity Bros merch item.
Get your merch.
Nope, we're drawing another winner.
Gosh, I have to do it again. Mark!
Mark! What are you doing?
You won, Mark.
Scry Society. There we go.
Scry
I want to date with Robbie. That's what I want from the store.
the
Oh,
winner.
Scry Society is also an ambassador
for those of you
Magic.
guys listening
He's
on
awesome.
audio, Mark won our Twitch giveaway, so we gave it to Scry Society instead. There you go.
Let's go, Scry
Scry Society. So
Scry Society is awesome.
We will whisper you on Twitch so we can get your info and see what you want from the Infinity Bros merch store. So
I'm picturing Scry Society as like a gnome behind Scryfall, just like quickly flipping through the cards on your screen so that you get what you need.
I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming that's a funny joke.
That's a funny joke for me and Robbie.
There we go. There it is.
there it is.
All right, guys. Anything else to add before we start closing out our 2024 Stanlee Awards?
Yeah, can I say a little thing?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
This year, I am going to try to commit to do a lot more streaming on our Twitch. I was going to try to do it today, but I want to fix this. I finally got the Infinity Bros hung up.
Nice.
But I'm looking at doing some of my Warhammer stuff because I like to chill, listen to a little bit of music, paint my Warhammer models, and talk to people. And then because we've been grinding away at Rivals, if my internet at my new place can handle Rivals and streaming, we'll be streaming some of that as well.
Yes.
And Moto is the other one. If you're an MTG fan and you like MTGO, I am trying to get back into Modern, and so Robbie has been helping me figure out how to kind of dip my toes into that. I played Moto forever ago, but I'm catching up on it again. So yeah, catch us on stream.
More streams.
Yeah, more streams better. Awesome. All right, guys. Yeah, anything else to add moving into 2025 from the Infinity Bros? Besides,
stand by for the special Zane Ellis wedding live.
Sure,
Should we
Zane Ellis
live
wedding's gonna be
stream
crazy.
his wedding?
Live
entire wedding.
stream.
That would be awesome.
We got a lot going. We
Yeah.
got 2 babies on the way in this group, and
Yeah.
2 babies.
We're going to do
Zayn
our best to
getting married.
keep up with content. I know, honestly, Rivals has been taking away from our content more than anything else has, like in the past, 5 years of doing content, but that's okay. I digress. But yeah, 2024 was an awesome year. Looking forward to more in 2025. So, all right, guys. I think that's it. That's all we got. If you want to hear more from the Infinity Bros, make sure you go to theinfinitybros.com for all of our links. You can check out our store. If you didn't win and you want something, make sure you check out our store for some sweet, sweet merch. And then pay attention to the Twitch stream for Zane's wedding coming up later this year. So
That's right.
Yeah.
all right, guys, wherever you're listening, however you're listening, thank you so much for making us a part of your podcast experience. We love you 3000. Bye.
Bye.
Cut. Check. I didn't actually cut the stream. This is like our Patreon at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
We're still streaming?
podcast. Yes, we're still streaming.
Oh,
You can, do all the duck sounds you want now, Robbie. Get it out of your system.
I needed to do so many times.
Yeah, thank you guys all for hanging with us tonight. It's been fun.
Oh my gosh.
Below my ears.
I was gonna add to so Annika caught the very end of the stream. And so she reminded me of an idea if we want to do this in 2025, since she's not seen Lord of the Rings, that we set this up. So we basically do a podcast where we interview her of what she thinks is going to happen, expectations, watch the movie, and then interview her again.
I'm all in.
Okay.
Oh, so it's all going to be about Annika. Oh, got it. It's all going to be about Annika.
Along that line, though,
what if we made this whole thing just all about me, Annika?
Annika and the Infinity Bros.
Annika
just replaces
plus
Zane in the
6
Infinity
Bros.
Yeah,
It's
we
Zane.
all
Annika
of
and
our
Zane's
wives,
PS5.
all of our wives had to go through this a couple years ago, and now Zane's wife's got to try to get through this.
Holly's
gets
been on the
on the-
podcast, but we've talked seriously about doing a wives episode, and I think that would be hilarious. I think that would be great. So if we could incorporate that somehow, I don't know. We'll see.
Can Smart Nick be my wife for that?
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
My wife. She is.
And
She's
she's
my
the bro.
wife.
Yeah, she's
My
taking
wife.
Zane's place in the Infinity Bros. Coming soon. So, all right, guys. Anything else you want to say on the Patreon to our Patreon folks or to the lovely folks watching the stream on?
Sign up for the Patreon because that'd be cool.
Sign up for the Patreon. Also, I know obviously we're selling the games or stuff. I mean, we're not selling them, but we get kickbacks and stuff for this. Freaking dude, these controllers are so good. I just downloaded Dark and Darker on my phone. I am obsessed with how good these controllers are.
Legit, if I played PC more, I would be using this GameSir controller because this Tarantula is honestly one of the best controllers I've ever owned in my life. It's really nice. So that, and then the one that I have, the mobile one, is the X3 Pro. And it's it's got a USB-C port that you literally just plug into your phone when you're playing, and you can charge your phone while you're playing. It's got a fan on the back, it's legit. So
just has a fan. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got a fan, and Hades is one of the Netflix games. If you have a Netflix account, you can do a bunch of games for free, and Hades is one of those games. Been absolutely putting way too much time into Hades, and lately
Hades is so good. Yeah, even on a mobile, it's still.
We're showing off random things. You can go to Target and get these cool little D&D figures.
Yeah,
I love that. Is that the only one you have?
This little dwarf. I kind of want to name him.
He looks great. We should name him
right now. Name
I have a name.
Somebody else.
Carlos.
First name wins.
Annika.
Carlos. His name is Carlos. All right, Carlos, the D&D dwarf. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for that recommendation, Robbie. Appreciate it. All right,
Bye,
guys.
Carlos.
Love you 3000. Bye.
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 Bye.